my lovelies, and welcome back to Crazy But Not Dangerous. I'm Shorty Vaughn, and as you can see back there, it's so dark 30. I'm up late again. If you're on the East Coast, I'm up early, and if you're on the West Coast, I'm up late. Whatever. I'm up, and I'm going to do a little meal prep for the rest of the week. Getting a late start on it this very early Monday morning. It's about 1:40 in the morning. But I had a busy day and did all kinds of things around the house and things that I needed to take care of. So I've had a little nap, got a little Dr. Pepper, and we don't have a whole lot of prep work to do, so it's just fine. This is some very delicious Smithfield bacon. I got it on sale, I think about $3.99. It's a 16-ounce package. Yay, hooray. But I want to elevate this a little bit. And you're thinking, bacon's so good all on its own. What are you going to do to it, crazy lady? So at my store, they sell a more expensive bacon. It's a peppered bacon. And I thought, yeah, I can just add bacon to my, or add pepper to my bacon at home and save myself like $5. And then I got to thinking about it and what goes better with pork than a little rosemary. So I picked some fresh out of my garden. It's super fresh and delicious. It's making my house smell so darn good. Let me tell you, I went outside to pick it, and my lemon trees are blossoming, and the smell is overwhelming. And then the rosemary and the other herbs in my herb garden, I could have just sat out there all night. Like got in the lounge chair and just like sat out in the yard, smelled all the good things. And it's not too cold tonight. It is like 66 degrees and cloudy. So it is not cold and it is quite nice. So let's go ahead and elevate my bacon. Super simple. Pennies on the dollar to make it better. Can't beat that. Okay. So I have opened my package of bacon here. And let's get started. And I'm just going to lay these out on my baking sheet because I am going to bake these in the oven. I'm going to bake them at a slightly lower temperature than usual. Most of the time I do 375 or 400 degrees. But because we are going to, elevate them with our herb and spice, I don't want them to burn. So we're going to cook them a little bit lower and a little bit slower than we usually do. And this is a regular sliced, streaky American bacon. Other parts of the world, bacon does not come from the belly of the pig, but more of the back. And so if you were buying that kind of bacon in the United States, you would be looking for something called a back bacon. Other parts of the world would call this like an American streaky bacon, and they are processed differently. They are from different parts of the pig, and they are cured slightly differently. So both delicious. I think this would work whether you were making, back bacon or streaky American bacon. Streaky American bacon is what I have the easiest access to. Also, if you have access to beef bacon, this would be absolutely delicious on beef bacon. So, I'm just going to go ahead and squeeze as many of these pieces on here as possible. And as they shrink up, they'll have a little bit more room. It'll be fine. Oh, there it is. There's my oven. Hurry up, lady. Hurry up. We're ready to roll. And this is not a thick cut bacon slice, but it is thicker and than I usually get. So, yay, hooray for that. I'm going to just give my hands a little wash up here. My preference is usually for bacon that is not too thickly sliced because I do like it to be very crispy. Maybe even on the border of, slightly overcooked. I'm still okay with that. Okay, so I've just got some regular pepper here, I think this came from Kroger. Yep, came from the fries. And I'm just going to go ahead and pepper my bacon. And you can put on as much or as little as you find delightful. I like quite a bit, but I don't want it to be overwhelming. And it makes sense, kind of. You know, we pepper every other cut of meat. Why wouldn't you, you know, why wouldn't you season your bacon? Okay, so I think that's just about enough. It's just got a little light tappy tap on every strip, just a little bit. This does not need salt. American cured bacon is already very salty. It does not need salt. So if I was going to use like a seasoning mix or something like that, I would make sure that there was no salt added. Because for me, I don't know that I would be able to eat it. So I'm just going to go ahead, and these are brand new tender little leaves, and I'm going to just go ahead and just put them over top of the bacon. We will discard them at the end of the cooking process, but this will just infuse my bacon with a little bit of that rosemary delight. And that's how it looks. Peppered and rosemaried. And I'm going to use this bacon in 2 applications this week. I'm going to use it, number 1, for BLTs because we love them. It's a really easy night dinner. That, some french fries, a bag of chips, maybe a side salad, maybe macaroni and cheese, whatever, to go with our BLT. Or maybe just some extra sliced tomato if I could find some really good ones. It's not quite the season for really good tomatoes here. But quick, easy dinner. So half of my bacon will be allotted to that. And we typically think 4 pieces of bacon on a sandwich, and we each have one. That's typically how many pieces we like. We can get by with 3, 2, and Andrew's like, really, come on. So typically 4 pieces of bacon. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That still leaves us with like 6 pieces of bacon. The other 6 pieces of bacon are going to go into a cheddar rice broccoli chicken bake. And remember, we call it a bake. We do not call it a casserole because he equates casserole with, yuck. I don't know how. Probably goes back to his mother. Oh. Anyhow, so it's a bake, but we're going to use a lot of things up in the refrigerator. We're going to get those things moving on along. It's going to be tasty and delicious, and it will be extra tasty with our bacon, especially now that we've elevated it slightly. I'm going to pop this in the oven, and I'm going to keep an eye on it. I think it's probably going to take 30 or 40 minutes for it to come up. And yeah, I'm just going to keep an eye on it, keep a smell on it too, so I don't burn the bacon. Don't set the house on fire in the middle of the night. If I set the smoke alarm off in the middle of the night, that will wake Andrew up. We can do this at night because that man can sleep through anything. I could take the vacuum in there right now, and I could vacuum right next to his side of the bed, and it would not faze him at all. Bless his heart. But if the smoke alarm goes off and I've burnt the bacon, he is going to be mad. And he's going to be mad because he's going to have to actually do the smoke detector because I can't reach it. And then he's going to be mad because I woke him up. Tomorrow's his work day. Tomorrow I'm off. It is what it is. Let's make some rice. Andrew bought a ton of Chinese food when he went out for our anniversary. He brought home a ton of Chinese food, but they forgot to include all the little extra rices. So he got like Chinese jalapeno pork chops, teriyaki chicken, and sesame chicken, but only like one little rice. And then also he didn't really order enough veg either. So we're going to make some rice so that we can enjoy the remainder of the Chinese food later on in the week. We've had it for 2 nights. I need a little break. So we might have the BLTs tomorrow. Let's make some rice. Okay, I've got 2 cups of long grain rice. And I have my strainer. And I'm just going to go ahead and pour this rice into the strainer. And I'm just going to give it a little rinse off. And this prevents your rice from getting too sticky. It washes off some of the extra starch that may be attached to it. I struggled for a long time in making rice, but it was always kind of floppy. It wasn't very good. And why shouldn't I just go ahead and buy some already made in a little package or in the freezer section or from my local Chinese restaurant? But rinsing your rice will result in a better end product. So you don't have to take the time to strain it because we are going to go ahead and get that into the rice cooker with some water anyhow. So it's just a brief step, basically. Okay, and this is my rice cooker. It's an Aroma. I think I paid about $20 for it on sale. And it makes great rice. It only has on and off and warm. And so, yep, you push it down to cook. It pops up to stay warm. And I got this down for two reasons. One, because I wanted to make rice. Also, because it was in the appliance graveyard in my laundry room. And I needed to get it cleaned up. Make sure that it's still working fantastic because we have family dinner night this weekend. Yay, hooray, I'm so excited. And I wanted to serve a hot dip in this. This is multi-purpose. In my opinion, it could be a slow cooker, a rice cooker, a dip warmer, you know, whatever you need. I've actually made applesauce in here before, and that turned out fine and fantastic. So I have 2 cups of our rinsed rice. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that in. And then for this rice cooker, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. It's for every 1 cup of rice, it's 1 cup of water or liquid. And you could certainly make this using a stock, chicken stock, veg stock, beef stock. You could use seafood stock if you were so inclined. I'm just going to use plain old water today. And that will be just fine. You could add a little bouillon if you wanted to. I'm going to plug this baby in. And then what it's going to need, it's going to need 1/2 teaspoon of salt for every 1 cup of water and rice. So, or for every 1 cup of rice. So this is a 1 teaspoon measure. And so 1/2 teaspoon per cup of rice. That's all it says we're going to need. That's usually all I put in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and flip this baby to cook. Put the lid on. And then just roll it on done. And it should be done just about the time that our bacon's ready to come out of the oven. And let me tell you, that bacon smells amazing. Oh, yeah. Oh. Now that might actually wake Andrew up. I've woken him up with cooking bacon in the middle of the night before he comes in. Give me a piece of bacon. I hand him a piece of bacon. He eats it with his eyes closed, and then he goes back to bed. Yeah, I love him. He's so weird. If that happens, we'll be short 1 piece of bacon, but we'll short the bake and not the sandwiches. So there's that. Okay, I got bacon going. Got my rice cooking. We're just multitasking all night long. I'm going to slice some cheese. Okay, so this is 16 ounces of our 32-ounce block of Colby Jack that we got on sale over at the Albertsons. What was that? $3.50, $3.75, something like that. It was a great buy. Anyhow, so I've chopped it in half. We've enjoyed the first 16 ounces, so I'm going to go ahead. I've got this out of the freezer. I think that Colby Jack is a cheese that freezes really well, and we are going to go ahead and process this for the week. We're going to make some slices for sandwiches, and then I'm going to grate some up by hand I could get the food processor out, but we're not going to grate very much. It'll be fine. Um, but we're going to go ahead and do these two methods of cheese for the week. I have this little handy dandy cheese slicer. It's got a little tensioner on it. And do I think that that is a thick enough slice? I actually think that's a little thick. So I'm going to go ahead and make that a little bit thinner. Oh, hello. I guess that's as thin as it's going to go. Yeah, okay. So let's go ahead and we'll just start at the end and slice all the way down. And that's about the thickness of my slice. I'm okay with that. So this was much better value than buying sliced cheese. And really, it takes no time at all to slice it. No big deal. Oh, hello. There we go. And the little foot, I just put those over there. We'll add those to our grated cheese. And I think the Lucerne product that you find at Safeway and Albertsons is a pretty decent cheese. I'm not mad at it. It's all right. Harder cheeses freeze better than other cheeses. My mother was a real fan of the American slices, whether they were in the little plastic envelope or just in, like the huge economy package that you might find over at Sam's Club or Costco. She loved American cheese. That was her cheese preference. That does not freeze amazingly well. I always think when it comes out that it's a little bit, for lack of a better word, sweaty. And I don't think that one freezes really well. I think that Colby Jack, Monterey Jack, mozzarella, Parmesan, I think these are all cheeses that freeze and then defrost just fine. But that's just my preference. We still ate the sweaty cheese because that's what we had, and I'm still alive to talk about it. So we got several slices on here, and I'm just going to go ahead and put these in my little meal prep container. And then if I'm making a sandwich or I just want a little cheese snack, there it is. It's all ready for us. But I'm not putting my meal container away, my meal prep container away yet, because I'm also going to go ahead and just include my shredded cheese here on the side. Because we're not making a whole lot. We got about, I don't know, 4, 6 ounces, something like that. And that's what we're going to use as our shredded cheese product this week. And it can just live right alongside of the slices. They don't mind. They won't care a bit. And just going to go ahead and give this a little bit of a, I'm using the small side. Let's use the bigger side. And crumbles are just fine. They're all going to melt the same. No worries. And here we go. I'm not going to futz with it. I'm going to call it good. Okay, here we go. And then my cheese shreds, like I said, will just live right alongside because dishes, who needs more of them? Not me. And I am really always stretched for room in my refrigerator. So, yeah, it's tight in there. Go ahead and pop these on. There we go. And now they can keep each other company in the refrigerator. And this will be about enough cheese to last us a week, maybe a little bit more. I'm not making any promises. And then with a dry erase marker, I will just go ahead and write the date on it so that I can keep track. But for me, if it's not moldy, that cheese is still good. Okay, well, my bacon is all done. And of course, there is little pig boy. Hello, pigs. Did you come out? Did you come out for bacon? Did you? Oh, God bless you, baby. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. How come you're not in bed? You want to say hi? Back up. Back. Oh, yeah, did you find... Oh, he found the cheese. Go ahead. Get the cheese. You get the cheese, I'll get the bacon. It's like, lady, I'll help you out with that bacon. No problem. I'm a good helper. Help you eat it. I know. I know. It's really hot right now, honey. I can't give you any. Bless your little baby heart. Can you wait a minute? Can you wait for it to cool off for just a minute? All right. And I'm just picking off the rosemary, the big sprigs, because that won't be delicious on our sandwich. But you can really smell it. And I know that the bacon will be well infused with it. And this bacon is fried in the oven just flat and nice and will lay on a sandwich so well. And it's crispy and yeah. Okay. I'm gonna put this little piece. I'm gonna put this little piece right here for you pigs, so it can cool off. Two little morsels there, and then you can go back to bed. Let's show everybody the bacon. What do you think? Yeah, lady. Yeah. Okay. And that is how my American streaky bacon turned out. And it's all peppered and delicious. And I'm tempted to try it, but I'm not going to because it's late at night and I have designated each slice for something, so I'm not going to try it. But Pigs is going to have a little bite. Oh, those are cool now. Pigs, come here. Want a little bite of bacon? You do? Oh, yeah. Does it pass muster? Is it good? He's eating. Okay, well, I ate that piece. Delicious. Peppery, rosemary. Couldn't ask for anything more. Yay, hooray. Season your bacon. And our rice is doing its thing over here. But I want to just go ahead and pull it out from underneath the cabinet so it can do its thing. Yay, hooray. Well, we made bacon. We've got our rice going. We cut the cheese. Ha ha ha. And let's go ahead and we'll dice an onion for the week. If you get nothing more done in your meal prep for the week than dicing an onion or slicing it or doing both, you will put yourself ahead of the game. Because a lot of the times, I'm like, I don't want to make that. I don't want to cut vegetables today. What if they're already done? And all I have to do is like brown up some hamburger and throw in some onion and, you know, add a can of cream or something to it and some bag of mixed vegetables. Well, you're in like Flynn. And then you'll save yourself time and effort and hassle of having to go through the drive-in somewhere. I wanted to tell you that on my little Nextdoor app that I hardly ever read because most of the time it's just people complaining about things that don't amount to a hill of beans. But I was on there today and people were saying that a local restaurant chain had significantly overcharged them on their breakfast bill, dine-in breakfast bill. And then there was a lot of hassle around getting that corrected in their system, in their ticketing system. And, well, you just might want to double check your receipts. That's all I'm saying. It's a time where we've got a lot of new people, you know, at new jobs and learning things, and you know, technology changes so fast. So check your receipts. If you're out and about, make sure that you're getting the best for your buck and not being overcharged. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and on this side I'm just going to make slices this way, and then I'm going to cut it in half this way, and then I am just going to go ahead and chop straight down. And that is going to be a good enough dice for me. Go ahead and put this in my meal prep box. Here we go on that end. And then with this half of the onion, I'm going to go ahead and just make half moons. In case we end up making a burger or something like that, we have a little bit more substantial size. So just going to go straight down like that. Nobody cares how you chop your onion. Gordon Ramsay doesn't care. However you get it done, however you're feeding your family, that's all that matters. And then, so now I've got a little box with half moons and a dice, and that'll be enough to get our week going. Our rice is over here just doing its thing. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the refrigerator. Pretty much we're just waiting on the rice now. I thought the rice would cook the quickest of all. Maybe it's a little slow coming out of the appliance graveyard. You can do it, baby. I believe in you. Go. This week for meals, we're keeping it pretty simple. I've taken a ribeye out. I showed you that. 2 chicken breasts because we are going to have a strawberry spinach goat cheese salad with a grilled piece of chicken. Doesn't that sound delicious and healthy? Yay, right? And then we're going to have leftover Chinese food, a BLT, and then the chicken, bacon, broccoli, rice bake. So that's pretty much all of the things. And, you know, now that I was thinking about it, okay, it's done. Now it's on warm. Just going to let it do what it does. After it gets done and it flips to warm, the light will come on here. Let this rest for about 15 minutes to make sure all of the water gets absorbed. And yeah, oh, it looks, and then just fluff it with a fork. Just fluff it with a fork. But it looks really good. It's sizzling. It's steamy too. Ooh, watch out. Let it rest for about 15 minutes. Fluff it with a fork. Now what I will do is I will grab a baking sheet or what I will do is grab a baking dish, a baking sheet, some kind of a tray or what have you. And what I will do is I will pour this out into here. And why is because I want it to cool off as rapidly as possible. So I will transfer this in after I've let it rest for about 15 minutes. I will go ahead and pour it in here because it has more surface area. It will cool faster. And then I will turn my overhead fan on in my kitchen and bring this down in temperature before I package it to go in the refrigerator, because rice can get clumpy. And while the outside or the top might feel like it's cool, on the inside, it might still be hot. And when you put it in the refrigerator, it's going to take a long time to get to that inside to cool it off. That's where bacteria can grow. And that's why they say sometimes that saving rice can be dangerous because it's not cooled properly. And it is an extra step. It will take an extra 15 minutes, but safety first. Cool your rice down. In restaurants, what they have are these great big ice blocks in plastic, and it has like a handle. And so if you have a soup or you have a stew or rice or something like that, you kind of get a spoon and make like a hole in the center. And then you plunge your ice contraption into the middle, and then you are cooling from the inside out so that you have the fastest cooling time possible, so then you can store your whatever safely. So I will put it out on this. I will turn on my ceiling fan. And this is kind of a neat little fan. Let me show you. I got this at Home Depot, Lowe's. I can't remember. I'd have to go back through my records and find out. But this ceiling fan, let me kick this ceiling fan is enclosed. So it has like a plastic bottom on it, and then a grill, and then a little decorative what have you. And I like the ceiling fan because I can turn it on and know that a bunch of dust is not falling down onto my stuff. I like that ceiling fan, and it's copper in color, though you can't really tell because, of the video. Okay, now that my rice has rested for a few minutes, we're going to go ahead and dump it into this baking dish. There we go. Baking dish. So that it can cool, and then I can safely store it for the rest of the week. The rice looks fantastic. It's all individual and fluffy and cooked thoroughly. Yay, hooray. And I love rice. One of the things that we did all the time as kids, rice was a fairly common breakfast for us, with a little milk and maybe a little bit of butter and sugar. And we ate it like you would cream of wheat or grits or what have you. I like a little salt and pepper in mine too. Okay. And that is it. And that is my rice. And I am going to save this because, like I said, I want it to cool down in temperature. If I had made 6 or 8 cups, I would use like the metal baking tray. Maybe I would use 2 if I was going to store it and I was not going to serve it right away. I would put it out on 1 or 2 of those baking sheets, turn a fan on, and then, just come by every, 10 or 15 minutes, every 30 minutes when you think about it. Not at all. I don't know. Basically, you have 2 hours to bring this to a cooler temperature so that it can be stored safely in your meal prep box or plastic bag or whatever you're going to store your rice in. Okay, let's look at my rice. Looks pretty good. Looks like rice. Take a little. Yeah, it's not crunchy. It has plenty of salt. The grains are very individualized. It's not sticky. That's pretty successful rice. Yay, hooray. All right, I'm going to get cleaned up. And I'm going to get the coffee ready for the morning. So all I have to do is stumble in here and push go and yay, hooray. And I'm going to go to bed. It's 2:36 in the morning. I've done my share. This should be cooled off by the time I get the coffee done and the kitchen cleaned up. I'm going to go ahead and store this into one of my food box containers, meal prep containers, and, well, it's going to need a bigger one than that. There we go. I'll store it in this one. And again, with my dry erase marker, I'll just go ahead and write what it is and the date to remind me. And then, if let's say I got called out of town, I don't want him struggling in that refrigerator. I want him to see, oh, that is rice, and I can make it with the Chinese food. So, there we go. Hey, kids. Hot diggity. We did some meal prep. We're going to have a great week. I hope you have a great week. See you tomorrow. Thanks for watching Crazy But Not Dangerous. Be good, be careful, look both ways. Like and subscribe so we can be friends. Have a great day. Bye.